Hello everybody and welcome to the Be Lucky podcast with me, Daryl Carter. This podcast is for members only, exclusive to members. We're going to talk straight through the Sandown card on Saturday. Yes, the Sandown Jumps Finale Day. What a belting card that is on offer for punters to get stuck into. I really cannot wait to see it. I've got a strong nap. Oh, this will not be beaten. Fingers crossed it won't be beaten because I really like this one. I really like this horse. And it comes in the first race at Sandown. The 120 will kick off straight away. The Novices Championship final handicap hurdle. And while I did mention earlier in the week that I do like John Barber at a big price, I do think he will be seen to best effect when he steps up in trip. He's a horse that is related to St. Bart's, who improved. I like that horse. Improved for going up in distance. And I think he just might find this all happening a little bit too quickly for him, this big field handicap. The horse I really like for it is Kent's-Ime for Nicky Henderson. I think this has been a plot job for this race. I think this horse has been laid out for this since she won at Kempton on Boxing Day. She absolutely hosed up over Bo Quali's rated 118. I think the fourth is rated 123. She, hands and heels, absolutely pissed up on good ground. That was her hurdling debut. It was her first start for Nicky Henderson, first start in Britain. And she really looked like very much a smart filly, and they were talking about graded races for her as well after that. She then wasn't seen till February, and she ran behind Rubber Ball, who's rated fairly highly, 128. She ran behind Tutti Quanti of Paul Nichols's, who's rated 132, but she was never ever asked for any sort of effort whatsoever. And I am sure Nico de Boinville was under instructions to just give her a spin round, because he could have gone for a gap. He decided not to. He put her in behind horses and really didn't ask for any sort of effort whatsoever. On close inspection of that, you'd have to think they had something in the back of their mind. And it certainly wasn't going to be a Southwell Novice Hurdle next time out in April, which was 11 days ago, behind Serious Challenge and Sorcerer. Now, again, there was no urgency from the saddle at all from Nico de Boinville, and it was just a really eye-catching effort. Absolutely lobbed around, looking like a different class horse, and then just didn't ask under pressure. I think those two efforts have allowed her to get a handicap mark, which is fucking lenient, of 120. Lenient of 120. And I'm telling you now that she is far better than that. She's twice a winner in France in bumpers, in AQPS bumpers. She's a half-sister to Joyeuse, who they had plotted for the Betfair hurdle, if you remember, off a mark of 123. And she's from the family of Epatante. There is lots to like about Kent's-Ime, who I think will enjoy the drying ground. Like I say, I think she's been laid out for this since Boxing Day. And my goodness me, I think this is a poor race. I think a lot of these have shown their hand. I don't think many have had this race in mind from way back. And I do think that Kent's-Ime is a smashing bet. Under Control won this race last year for Nicky Henderson and JP McManus. She had run 11 days before this. They had the second last year, Iberico Lord. This is well handicapped off 120. I looked through our sectionals at Kempton. The closing sectionals were rapid, were really good, really on par with that of being a sort of 130 plus horse. I did a circuit time at Kempton. She was miles quicker than East India Express. She got to 3 out, 4.75 seconds ahead of East India Express, who over 2 miles 5, and she came home underhand and heels on par with him from 3 out to the finish. I think she's a very good horse. I think she's miles better than 120. I think the handicapper has made a bit of a mistake here. And I'll be all over her on Saturday. Really all over her. I think she's got everything in her favour. She'd be the strongest bet of the entire day on Saturday. Moving on to the 150. It's the Josh Gifford Novices Handicap Chase. Couple in here to be of interest. Risking the Ground has obviously got his time of year. He's turned out again quite quickly after winning at Cheltenham 10 days ago. Obviously, Skelton's trying to chase this championship title, so he's bound to turn a few out very quickly. He will be hard to beat, I do think, but I do like the claims of the two behind him in the market, Classic Anthem and Ide. Don't really like anything else in the race. I think Classic Anthem has got loads more to come from him. He has been in and around sort of a high 1-teens, low 120s mark for a long time now, but he has definitely got a fetish for Sandown, that's for sure, and he bolted up on good ground here over Isa Dairy in March 49 days ago. That was the second time this season he's had good ground. The other time was second, beaten half a length over 2 miles to Brookie. Brookie's gone on and done decent things this season and is rated much, much higher than Classic Anthony is on the 123. I think the ground's important to him. I think good ground's important, and I think he's got more to come. So I do think Classic Anthem is a nice horse. I think he'll get a nice pace set up here, and I think I think he could go close. Ide again ran very well at Air the time before. I'm looking at those two as potential value bets to take on Risking the Ground, who just might find this turnaround a bit too quick. This is going to be his third run since the 11th of April. So this is, and he's had 2 hard races. So I'm happy to take him on there. The 225, fascinating race, but Gaelic Warrior should be the one to beat here. I won't spend too much time on this. If he is this side of evens, I'll be betting him. I won't be advising him because we don't advise below 2-1. But if he's 2-1, you can bet your fucking bottom dollar he'll be on the column. But this is his ideal trip, going back right-handed. I know he was beaten last year when he came out of Cheltenham at Punchestown, but just don't think he's had as hard a season as he did last year. So I think he's relatively fresh. So I think he'll take all the beating in the Oaksey Chase. The 3 o'clock, again, I think can go to Willie Mullins. Kits a Ball did really well to finish where he did, to be honest. 5th in the Liverpool Hurdle last time at Aintree. He pulled the arms off his jockey for the entire first circuit. It was remarkable how he was still pulling coming down past the stands. I thought it was just a remarkable effort, to be honest. Coming down in distance, Hood is on today. Nice to see the Hood going on. Back in distance, unexposed on good ground, unexposed at the trip. High class level of form already. I think he's a really nice horse. I think Kits a Ball is going to take a world of beating, to be honest, and a Lucky Place is the right second favourite. The 3:35, the Celebration Chase. Can John Bond make it 6 for 6 at Sandown? I don't think he can. I've seen some airs of vulnerability in John Bond this year. I've seen jumping errors that weren't there before. I've seen him be outpaced, which I never saw before. And I just wonder if age is getting to him a little bit. And he had to work really hard to fend off Protectorat last time over 2.5 miles at Aintree. I know he bounced out last year and won this race with no trouble whatsoever. But El Fabiolo was not himself at all. And, I mean, he didn't really beat anything else other than that. Edward Stone was only 4 lengths behind him. Do I think Ilate Thompson is a 4 lengths better horse than Edward Stone these days? Yes, I bloody well do. I think he is miles a better horse than Edward Stone. And I think he'll get close to John Bond, if not beat him. The Hood, the tongue tie's on. He's got a great record. Ilate Thompson, first time out. Form figures of 1-1-3. Brilliant record right-handed. And they could have easily just left him off for the season, or they could have gone to Punchestown down the road. They've decided to travel over and come here. I think Ilate Thompson has got a fabulous chance. I think if I can get sort of 3-1 or bigger, I'll be very happy. I've just seen they've opened up at 6-1, so that's twice the price I've been looking at. But I think he's got a cracking chance, and I think he's the main danger to John Bond. Energumene's in there, he's 11. Edward Stone 11. Harper's Brook shouldn't be in there. Master Chewy, no. Unexpected Party shouldn't be in there. I mean, 6-1 each way, 2 places. I mean, I think that's a decent bet, but we'll see. The 4:10 is a fascinating race. It's the Bet365 Gold Cup, and Willie Mullins has 10 of the 20 runners. Not only does he have 10 of the 20 runners, But Grange Clare West is in here of a mark of 168, meaning he puts 11 of these out of the handicap, including some of his own stablemates. Remarkable. Willie Mullins has this game by the absolute bollocks. What a man. High Class Hero is your favourite. I think he's slightly vulnerable, to be honest. He's probably fairly handicapped, but I don't know. For a horse that's finished in the first 2 on his last 4 starts, I just don't trust him. And that was quite poor last time at Thurles. I think sometimes if you're a very, very good horse, I think you should be getting the job done regardless of sort of distance, unless it's a drop from the extreme. But he didn't. He failed to get the job done over Common Practice, got the better of him. Speaking at 2:13 last time. And I'm happy to take him on. I actually like Grange Clare West for it. I don't think I've ever tipped a horse of such a high handicap mark to win a handicap. But that run in the Grand National was unbelievable. He made a really bad mistake at the last fence, and he still picked up really strongly to close all the way to the line. He loves good ground. He's got one of these in here. He's just an absolute class animal. He hasn't won nearly enough races, but yeah, this will be really hard, but lumping around 12 stone here. But I wouldn't put you off a bet on him, to be honest. Whether he's quite a tip, I don't know, because we're hopeful rather than anything else. But I've got a little bit more work to do on that race, but it's very, very tricky, and it's hard sometimes to play in races where the trainer is dominating and dictating. So I don't know, maybe Manila Kakuna's the one to come back and won it last year. Resplendent Grey I think is interesting, but he's just going to end up getting himself too far behind, and it's very hard to make up ground here at Sandown. It really is hard, because the railway fences, you have to get into a rhythm. You keep jumping, you keep popping away. I mean, Annual Invictus nearly bloody made all the running in this race last year, so that'll tell you the benefits of making the running in this race. I haven't found the front runner in it yet. Maybe it'll be 3 under 3-5. Maybe it'll be High Class Hero. Maybe it'll be Dancing City. I'm not too sure. I'm going to do a bit more work on that race just yet. But the 4:45, there's a tip in there. In the handicap hurdle, it's actually last year's winner, Oik Sport, who I think has got a cracking chance to land the race again. The market is focusing pretty much on the Skelton and the Willie Mullins horses, but I think Oik Sport was a big eye catcher at Aintree behind Wellington Arch last time. He come from further back than ideal, really, and he stuck to the task really well. That was with the cheek pieces on for the first time. He wears a hood, a tongue tie and cheek pieces, so he's got more headgear than an NFL player, but he is a good horse that comes good at this time of year. Wants good ground, like Sandown. Absolutely bolted up here last year. He's £4 higher this time around, but geez, that wouldn't have stopped him beating the likes of Look Away and San Majest, etc. in that race last year. He was really, really impressive, and I think he's about to come back to form. So I'm very, very happy to take a chance on a very generous sort of around 8-9 to 1 mark about Oik Sport, who's still only a 7-year-old for Neil Mulholland, and he is coming good at the right time. So fingers crossed he can round off that card with a winner. But make no mistake about it, the best bet of the day is in that 120. It is Kentzheim for Nicky Henderson. This has been plotted, and this is going to land the money for us on Saturday at Sandown. Until next time, be lucky and take care.